Chives, and chives once again. What's up, 23% Nation? This is your man, Coach D. Today, I'm back with vegetable of the day, the one and only chive. So maybe you think chives are scallions. Maybe you think they're green onions. Maybe you've never tasted them before. Maybe you eat them all day, every day. Well, whatever the case may be, please listen and watch on why, because we're about to dive just a little deeper into the wonderful world of the chive. All right, first up, a little bit of background information. Now, a lot of us may be wondering, what in the world are chives, Coach D? Well, guys, here we go. According to Merriam-Webster, and that by the way, is an online dictionary, the official chive definition is a perennial plant, which basically is any plant that lives more than 2 years, that's related to the onion and having slender leaves used as a seasoning. Interesting. Chives, also known as onion chives, are an edible species of plant that belong to the allium genus, right? Also, leeks, shallots, garlic, and chives are all closely related and share a similar set of nutrients and health benefits. Now, take a look at the picture. As you can see, I am showing you a few, or maybe even all, of the members of the allium family. That's right. So we have leeks, the Welsh onion, chives, the spring onion, the red onion, the white onion, the yellow onion, and the garlic bulb. So there we have it, guys, a little bit of background information about the one and only chive. All right, more background information. This flavorful herb has been around for at least 5,000 years and been cultivated since the Middle Ages. The chive's meaning can be traced to the Latin word cepa, which means onion. They grow in large grass-like clumps and have long, thin leaves with purple onion flowers, but they don't contain the same underground bulb as other types of onions. Now, for those of us who are wondering, what in the world do those purple onion flowers look like? Well, guys, take a look at the picture. There you have it. Nice, pretty flowers. Wow, who knew? So there we have it, guys. More background information about the one and only chive. All right, now it's time for a few fun facts. A lot of us may be wondering, what is the difference between chives and green onions? Well, here we go. The main difference between chives and green onions is their respective flavors. Interesting. Green onions have a strong peppery taste, while the chive is more mild. Now, if we take a look at the picture, we see more differences. Chives are green, have hollow stalks, and inconspicuous bulbs, whereas green onions are long, have green stalks, and small white bulbs. So there we have it, guys, a few fun facts about the one and only chive and green onion. All right, more fun facts. Chives can come in two different forms. They can come in fresh or dry, right? Although both forms can be beneficial, some nutrients may be lost during the drying process. So it's best to opt for fresh whenever possible to maximize the potential health benefits. Look for fresh chives with a vibrant and even green color and steer clear of ones that are soft, dry, or wilting. Now, take a look at the picture, ladies and gentlemen. I have dry chives and I have fresh chives. Now the question is, which is fresh, which is dry? Well, guys, obviously the one in the bowl, those are the dry versions, and the one laying beside the bowl, the greener, fresher looking, is obviously the fresh chives. So there we have it, a few more fun facts about the one and only chive. Okay, more fun facts. Chives can grow to be about 12 to 24 inches tall and can be harvested either before or after they finished flowering. Interesting. The chive flowers are also edible and can be harvested as well. Wow, who knew? So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, these beautiful purple flowers are edible. That's right, guys, you can eat them. Now, it's up to you. Do you want to eat them together with the stalks, or do you want to eat them separately? Ultimately, the decision is yours, but you need to know that yes, the chive flowers are edible. All right, more fun facts. Ideally, add raw chives to dishes after cooking to avoid subjecting them to too much heat, which can diminish their characteristic color and flavor. Dry chives can last for several years, but will eventually start to lose their potency over time. There are several options for how to dry chives, but the easiest method is by using an oven or food dehydrator. So once again, for those of us who are looking to find out what in the world dry chives look like, well, ladies and gentlemen, there you go, right? Notice the measuring spoon, right? That kind of helps give you a reference point as to how small they really are. That's right. So, more fun facts about the one and only chive. All right, now it's time for the not so fun facts. Some people may have an allergy to this veggie, which can cause symptoms like itching, rashing, or swelling, unfortunately. People with an allergy to other plants in the same family, like garlic or onions, are more likely to have a chive reaction. If you notice any adverse symptoms, discontinue use immediately and consult with your doctor. Nice. So, take a look at the picture, right? I'm allergic to chives. So whether you are or aren't, right, you can always try, reducing your consumption of chives if you ever have any symptoms such as itching, rashes, or swelling. But if the symptoms are too severe, then of course, you definitely want to discontinue use immediately, meaning eliminate them from your diet altogether, or maybe just consult with your doctor and see what they have to say. All right, so there we have it, guys. The not so fun facts about the one and only chives. All right, it's time to dive into the 520 rule. Ladies and gentlemen, 23% Nation, the 520 rule is all about food labels. That's right. Basically, it teaches us how to read and understand food labels. Ultimately, it's a guide. It's a guide that lets us know whether or not a food or beverage item is a good source or not a good source of any particular nutrient. Now, specifically, when we talk about the 520 rule, we're really talking about percent daily value, abbreviated percent DV. Now, let's take a look at our sample food label. As you can see, it is divided into three main parts. We have the purple part, the yellowish orangish part, right? And then we have the light blue part. So at this time, let's take it part by part. All right, so first up is the purple part, which is the percent daily value column. Now notice, percent daily value is basically represented as a percentage. Now this is on a scale that basically goes as low as 0% to as high as 100%. Now let's take a look at the yellow nutrients, right? We're talking about saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, and sodium. Ladies and gentlemen, here's what we need to know about these four nutrients in particular. Unfortunately, they do a really good job at promoting disease, sickness, and illness within the human body. So if anything, you want to make sure that wherever you're eating or drinking, that these percent DVs are as close to 0% as possible. Now, let's talk about the blue portion. The blue nutrients, such as dietary fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, and iron, they do just the opposite of the yellow nutrients. Rather than promote sickness and disease, they promote wellness and health within the body temple. So if anything, the next time you eat or drink something, you want to make sure that those percentages are as close to 100% as possible. Now, let's dive just a little deeper into the 520 rule. Ladies and gentlemen, if a food or beverage item offers anywhere from 0% to 9% DV of any particular nutrient, then that food or beverage item is not a good source of that particular nutrient. Next, if a food or beverage item offers 10% to 19% DV, then that food or beverage item is considered a good source of that particular nutrient. Lastly, if the food or beverage item offers 20% DV or greater, then that food or beverage item is considered an excellent source of that particular nutrient. So there we have it, guys. We now know the ins and outs about the 520 rule. All right. Now that we've been exposed to the 520 rule, let's now dive into the nutrition facts. So for today's lecture, we're going to say that a single serving of chives is 1 tablespoon. That's right, guys. You only get a tablespoon of raw chives. So here we go. So in this single serving, 1 teaspoon, we're only going to get 1 calorie. That's it. 0.1 grams of carbs, 0.1 grams of protein, and 0.1 grams of fiber. Now, notice that I have protein and fiber highlighted, right? Well, guys, the reason why I do that is because you always want to make sure that wherever you're eating or drinking, that these two nutrients are clumped together. That's right. And that's a wonderful thing about plant foods is that, yes, they do provide fiber, but they also provide protein. Unlike meat-based products, they provide a whole lot of protein, but absolutely 0 fiber, and that is not good for the human body. Moving on. Vitamin K comes in at only 8% DV, not a good source. Vitamin C comes in at only 3% DV, not a good source. Vitamin A comes in at only 3% DV, not a good source. Folate comes in at 1% DV, not a good source. And lastly is manganese coming in at only 1% DV, not a good source. Now, I understand that you may say, well, Coach D, why would I eat chives since they're not a good source of vitamin K, vitamin C, vitamin A, folate, and manganese? Well, guys, you got to understand that this is based on a single serving, which once again is only 1 tablespoon. So if you want a higher percent daily value, you just got to eat more, right? So rather than have 1 tablespoon, have 2, maybe even 3 tablespoons. That way, these not so good sources now turn into good sources or maybe even excellent sources. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the nutrition facts about the one and only chive. All right, now it's time to dive into the health benefits. But before we do, I want to talk with you about something very, very special. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about the principle of cause and effect. Basically, this principle states that every cause has its effect and every effect has its cause. There really is no such thing as chance and or luck. In other words, everything happens for a reason. So that being said, I want to let you know that currently, if you're healthy, well, that's the effect. The cause is, well, obviously you're doing something right. If, however, you have a disease, well, the disease is the effect. What we have to focus on are the causes, right? So if you want to get healthier, you got to cause it. So let's now talk about how this principle applies to the health benefits. So basically, here's what you need to understand is that the benefit is the effect, and the phytonutrients that are in the chives are the causes, or we can say the medicine, right? So here we go. Health benefit number 1 is that it boosts bone strength. Great. Now the question is, which phytonutrient, which medicine is responsible? Well, say hello to vitamin K. Benefit number 2. Chives contain cancer-fighting compounds. Great. Which phytonutrients, which medicines are responsible? Well, they have organosulfur compounds. Benefit number 3. Chives reduce inflammation. Great. What's responsible? Well, say hello to the antioxidants. Benefit number 4. Chives aid in disease prevention. Perfect. So, which medicines are in chives? Well, organosulfur compounds, quercetin, flavonoids, saponins, and good old vitamin C. And benefit number 5, chives aid in liver health, brain function, and fetal development. Now the question is, which phytonutrient is responsible? Well, say hello to choline. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, 5 amazing health benefits from the one and only chive. All right, now it's time to talk about food. Oh yes, plant food. 23% Nation, say hello to forksoverknives.com, which, by the way, is our go-to website for everything vegan. Yes. So I went to the website, as usual, did a little bit of research, and I came across 2 amazing vegan recipes that I want to share with you right now. So the first one is entitled Loaded Potato Skins. Take a look at the picture. Looks delicious, yes. Now, the second recipe is entitled Creamy Corn Dressing with Dill and Chives. Take a look at that picture. Looks delicious, yes? Now, here's the good thing. If your mouth is watering, and I hope it is, all you have to do is click on the description box. Why? Because I'm providing you with a direct link to each of these recipes. So, click on the link. You're going to find some amazing information such as cooking instructions, cooking time, ingredient lists, everything that you need to know in order to make these healthy, delicious dishes. So do me a favor, click on the links, make the dish, taste the dish, come back to the video and share your thoughts. So there we have it, guys. Not one, but two delicious plant-based chive recipes from forksOverKnives.com. All right, 23% Nation, I hear you. A lot of you say, well, Coach D, thanks for the fun facts, the nutrition facts, and the not so fun facts. And I even appreciate the recipes, right? But what I really want to know is, when should I eat more chives? Well, guys, if that's your question, then I got to tell you that the perfect day to eat more chives is Nature Day. What? Nature Day? Oh, yes, good old Nature Day. Guys, Nature Day happens to be the first day of the 23% challenge. Now, a lot of us may not be familiar with the challenge, and that's okay. So, in a nutshell, the 23% challenge is a monthly 7-day wellness program that is designed to help improve your health, your wealth, your relationships. Oh, and it also helps to save good old planet Earth. Now, here's the thing about the challenge. Number one, it's monthly, meaning every month, meaning January all the way through December. And it's only 7 days long. As a matter of fact, it's the first 7 days of every single month. Now, being that Nature Day is the first day of the challenge, that simply means that Nature Day is the first day of every single month. So, whether it's July 1st, August 1st, or September 1st, it's always Nature Day. Okay, so some of us are probably now more interested in Nature Day. You probably want to know more information. You probably want to know what in the world is Nature Day really all about. Well, guys, Nature Day is all about getting closer to nature. Now, the question is, how do we do that? Well, guys, it's easy. We get closer to nature by simply eating it. That's right. It's time to eat more plants. Now, I do understand that eating more plants may be difficult for some, but easy for others. For those who find it difficult, why don't we start off with the baby steps, right? So, you may want to only eat plants and drink water before 12 p.m. That way, after 12 p.m., you can eat whatever you want to eat. Or you can eat only plants and drink only water after 12 p.m. That way, before 12 p.m., you can eat and drink whatever you want. Now, for those of us who don't want to take those baby steps, for those of us who may want to up the ante just a little bit, you may want to go an entire day of only plant foods and only water. Well, that's what we consider a 3% vegan. Next up, you may want to step it up to a 10% vegan. Now, that's any person, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods and drinks only water 3 days out of an entire month. Next up is a 17% vegan. Now, that's 5 days of eating only plant foods and drinking only water. That's right, guys. And the ultimate is the 23% vegan. Now, technically, that's what Coach D considers himself to be. So what does that mean? Well, guys, it simply means that for the first 7 days of every single month, I am a strict vegan. That's right, meaning I only eat from the 5 food groups of plant foods. Those are fruits, vegetables and herbs, and spices, nuts and seeds, whole grains, and let's not forget about legumes, meaning beans and peas. So there we have it, guys. We now know exactly what Nature Day is all about. All right. So now a lot of people may say, well, Coach D, thank you for explaining what Nature Day is all about, right? But is it really for me? I mean, should I really get involved in this whole eating more plants thing, right? Well, guys, allow me to explain. Who is Nature Day for? Well, maybe you have health problems, such as the big four, right? Meaning heart disease, obesity, cancer, type 2 diabetes, right? Maybe you have skin issues such as eczema, psoriasis, pimples, and acne. Maybe you have digestive issues, maybe leaky gut syndrome, irritable bowel syndrome. Maybe you're constipated, right? Maybe you have mental issues such as depression, bipolar, anger, sadness, ADHD, right? And so maybe you're looking for a natural, holistic approach to your healing. Well, Nature Day is for you. Maybe you want to change your appearance. Maybe you want to lose some inches. Maybe you want to build some muscle. Well, you may want to try our vegan lean and vegan bulk programs. Or maybe you want to transition to a more whole food plant-based diet. Why? Well, because maybe you're interested in saving the environment. Or maybe you just simply want to eat more plants. Right. Well, if you fit any of those descriptions, well, ladies and gentlemen, the Nature Day diet is definitely for you. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We now know exactly who is ideal for Nature Day. All right. Now it's time for Coach D's tips. Guys, I'm here to offer advice. I'm here to offer just a little bit of help. Why? Because I want you to be successful on Nature Day. So first up, go to your local grocery store. Now, when you get there, you're going to go to 3 places. Number 1 is the produce section. Number 2 is the freezer aisle. And number 3 is the canned good aisle. Now, a lot of people may say, well, Coach D, what's best? Fresh, frozen, or canned? Well, guys, I'll put it to you this way. In third place comes canned foods. Why? Because canned foods go through a lot of processing. And during that process, a lot of the nutrients are lost and a whole lot of toxins are added. Coming in second place, and it's a close second to first place, is going to be your frozen options. And in first place is fresh. That's right, guys. The fresh variety is usually going to have the greater amount of nutrients. All right, tip number 2. Go visit the prepared dishes section. So when you're done with the produce section, the freezer aisle, and the canned good aisle, walk on over to the prepared dishes section. Now, walk on over to the counter, talk to the person, ask them if they have any vegan, not vegetarian options. And if you see something you like, ask for a sample. Don't worry, it's free. If you like it, buy it by the pound, maybe 2 pounds, maybe even 3 pounds if you really, really, really like it. Tip number 3, go visit your local farmer's market. Now, this is for those of us who must have non-GMO organic plant foods. The great thing about farmers markets is that they only cater to the non-GMO organic plant food market. That's right. So if you are that type of person, then please go visit your local farmers market. Oh, and here's something else. Chances are the produce may be cheaper than that of the grocery store. Why? Because the food, or in this particular case, the produce, is grown locally. Tip number 4, go visit your local vegan restaurant. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to support the vegan restaurant community. Now, they are amazing. Why? Because they hire vegan chefs. Vegan chefs not only know how to cook plant foods so that they retain the majority of their nutrients, but they also know which plant foods to combine to yield the most nutritious, delicious dishes. And tip number 5 is to get a subscription to a vegan meal prep company. Now, I recommend this for those of us who claim not to have time to cook plant foods. We don't know how to cook plant foods. We don't want to cook plant foods, right? That's okay. Let somebody else do the cooking for you. It's easy. Call them up. They make the food. They deliver the food. You eat the food. It's just that simple. So there we have it, guys. 5 amazing tips to help make your Nature Day successful. All right, it's time for our question of the day. It comes from yours truly, and it is a true or false question. Chive flowers are inedible, right? So I believe I covered that earlier in the lecture. So if you missed it, please hit rewind. If you listen and you know what the answer is, please write it in the comment box below. Once again, true or false, chive flowers are inedible. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. I definitely want to thank you for listening. As always, let's eat well, feel well, think well, do well, be well. This is your man, Coach D. Now, before I sign out, I got to ask you to please subscribe, share, comment, and like the video, especially if you love chives. And don't forget to use our 3-word mantra. It's hashtag eat more plants. As stated earlier, my name is Coach D. I'm signing out. Always remember to take care. God bless, and never ever forget that Coach D loves you.